Hello, all you flow art fanatics. Flow art. It's kind of hard to say, don't you think? We should change that. We should shorten it up to like flart.
You guys are a tad bit crooked, and it's pissing me off.
What's up, family? DenDenBMX here, and as you guys may or may not have noticed, I have a Balisong or two in my possession, and it's been quite a while. Actually, dang, hold on. Where are they? I didn't even grab all of them. Idiot. But yeah, I don't know if you can tell by this big old pile of aluminum and titanium and G10 and whatever else Balisongs are made of that I have quite a few of them. Too many, actually. But yeah, I think the last Balisong collection video I made was in 2020, or maybe it was 2019, I'm not sure, I don't remember. But what is that? Okay. Yeah, back then I only had a handful of Balisongs, and thanks to my Balisong videos being receptive enough to where Balisong manufacturers just kind of want to throw Balisongs at my face now for me to review them, which is a great problem to have, but because of that, my herd of Balisong children has grown quite significantly since the last time we talked about it. So you can just call me Nick Cannon if you want. But yeah, I figured it's about time to make another collection video because I know how much people love videos of people talking about their collections of material possessions, me included. So we're gonna strap on the GoPro and get right into this. But real quick, I just want to say thank you guys so much for all the recent love and support on all my videos. It truly does mean a lot. If you guys go on to enjoy this video, as always, let me know and help support the engagement on this video by leaving a like, leave a comment, give me your thoughts and opinions, share the video around. And if you regularly watch my channel and you haven't already subscribed, thanks, you absolute pile of ass. We're on the road to 17,000 subscribers, and any help towards that endeavor would be greatly appreciated. I also want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Knife Pivot Lube. As always, if you guys want to get yourself some KPL products, use the link that I'll have pinned in the comments as well as in the bio of this video. It takes you to KPL's website, get whatever your heart desires, and then over at checkout, use code DenDenBMX. If you use my link and you use my code, you will get a discount, and I will get some kickback from your purchase, so Alright, enough dilly-dallying because this is probably going to take a while, so let me grab my strap-on for my GoPro, of course, and let's get right into this. Alright, so here's my collection as it currently stands. I organized it a little bit. I kind of like lumped them all together, like my first Balisongs are all right here. The BB Barflies are all going to be in their own little section. The clones are going to be in their own little section. So I think we're going to start with the Balisongs that I actually started with, and I actually do still have my very first Balisong, and this thing is a hot pile of dog ass. This thing is abysmal. It barely functions. The tang pin on the top is gone. It has been long gone for a while. Here's the tap and the play on it. Oh yeah, look at the blade. It's serrated. Oh yeah, this tank fell out also. I had to super glue it back in. This thing is probably the most CCC you could possibly get. I got this, and then I got one of those aluminum scorpion handled Balisongs that were really, really light. Quite busted, but it is what I started this goofy journey off with. So that is the first Balisong. It doesn't even have a name, so I can't even name it. Next up on the list is gonna be this guy. It's a brand called Linton. These older Balisongs really can't do like modern day Balisong tricks. I actually think this Balisong was a kit Balisong also, and I like built it together out of like a hodgepodge of different stuff. This actually did carry me for quite a while in my flipping journey. It's cool that I still have it, but I really don't flip with it anymore. Moving on to two Balisongs that, oh god, two Balisongs that might hurt some fifis. These are some Benchmade 4X series clones, and these aren't even the good clones. These are like the super sketchy, busted, cheap $50 clones that were made out of stainless steel that are basically just counterfeits because they also have the Benchmade logo on there. What's weird about this one is the handles are quite rounded, but then when we go on to this one, which is a 47 knockoff, the handles on this one are a lot more squared, and I actually quite liked the way this one flipped. This one was my main flipper for quite a long time. Compared to the other three that we just looked at, this one is definitely the best flipper, but ooh, it's not good by any means, so they're rather butt cheeks, but these were what I used to flip for a real long time. Moving on to this little guy next. This was a gift from my stepsister. It's one of those Balisongs that you could find at the mall that they sell for like 40, 50 bucks, but really they're only worth like $10. It's just like a really, really basic standard CCC butterfly knife. I do appreciate that it was a gift, and this one does have a purpose. I leave the latch on this one because one of my favorite Balisong tricks is the latch drop, and I can't really do it on any of my other Balisongs because none of them have latches, so I leave a latch on this one so I can do my latch drops. So that is that Balisong. It was a very nice Christmas gift. Moving on to this guy. This is a Squid Industries version 1 Triton. This Balisong was actually the first balisong that I ever did an unboxing and review of here on YouTube. And in a cruel twist of irony, my first balisong review and demo was the one that did the absolute best. The video that I made on this balisong is almost sitting at 100,000 views, and none of my other balisong reviews have come even close to that. Now, this balisong does actually flip quite well, but I don't know if you can hear the abysmal handle slap that this thing has, but yeah, the handle gap closed on this thing within like the first few hours. The materials they used to build this balisong really weren't the best. Probably wasn't worth the price I paid for it, and it's probably going to be the last Squid product that I own and actually keep, because the last time I tried talking to Squid Industries, they were quite rude to me. Yeah, I'm not really supporting that brand anymore, but I'll keep this one just for like sentimental reasons. Moving on to this guy. This is a Sphinx Zephyr version 2, I believe. I ended up acquiring this balisong in a trade with a very cool person who I don't think is in the balisong community any longer, unfortunately. Funny backstory with this balisong is my last balisong collection video, I kind of spent the first 10 minutes of that video going off on some flippers that were more popular back then, because they were openly bullying and harassing me for making a video about a replicant clone that was sent to me for review. They were huge dicks, so in my collection video, I put them in their place, and then shortly after that video, I ended up trading that replicant clone for this balisong, and it's kind of quirky. It's a pretty outdated balisong. This thing doesn't have bushings or jimping or anything like that, but it still does flip decently well. Funny story, right around the time I got this balisong, I actually DM'd Sphinx on Instagram and asked him if he'd be interested in maybe sending me some of his other newer balisongs to review, and he basically just called me a loser and told me to fuck off, so that's fun. This is also going to be the last Sphinx product I have in my collection, and it's not even like I'm set on keeping it forever. Now moving on to this guy, which looks a little different than all the other balisongs that we've looked at so far, but you want to know what's funny? This one flips better than all of the balisongs that we've just looked at. This is a glow mod, which is a 3D printed blade connected to some glow sticks, and a fellow balisong YouTuber known as Balisong Flipping is the guy that makes these, and he actually sent me this as a little gift for hitting 15,000 subs here on YouTube back when I hit that, and I am very appreciative of this gift because it's actually quite fun. That was a very pleasant surprise, and I'm very appreciative of that one. Thank you once again, Balisong Flipping. Moving on to one of the first BB Barfly products that BB Barfly was kind enough to send me. Again, back around the time I made my collection video was when BB Barfly hit me up and he was like, hey, you want to check out some of my balisongs? And I had been a fan of BB Barfly since I started flipping, so I was like, hell yeah, I do. So he sent me this, which at the time was the brand new version 2 of the BB Barfly, and he sent me this version with the milled holes in it. Despite its big, bulky shape, size, and weight, this thing does flip quite well. I still genuinely think that this is one of the best budget flippers that you can get, and it also supports a bunch of really awesome guys. So huge shout out to BB Barfly for sending me this BB Barfly. It is very fun. However, my roommates don't particularly like this balisong just because it's insanely loud. When it's closing, it's just the blade smacking the handle, and it's very loud. But yeah, that's the BB Barfly version 2. Speaking of version 2s, Sergey and the awesome people over at BB Barfly also sent me this BB Barfly Pro version 2 back in the day. Back when he sent me this, this was the pinnacle of his creations at the time, and it still flips quite well. Unfortunately, I haven't had the time to really maintain this balisong, so it's not in as good of a state as when he sent it to me, but this thing still does rip quite hard once you figure out how to flip this thing. It is a little quirky and a little goofy, and it does some things weird, but for the price that it was sold at, especially at the time, this thing was an amazing flipper. So that is the Barfly Pro version 2. So BB Barfly made some quirky looking balisongs for quite a while, and then they started to get into making some very, very high quality, more standard looking aluminum balisong trainers. This was the very first one that he came out with, which was the BB Firefly, and he sent me this thing to review, which I'm very appreciative of. And at the time that this thing released, it was kind of a game changer, because despite being like a higher quality aluminum balisong trainer, it was way more affordable than any of the other premium aluminum balisong trainers. It felt different from everything else as well, because it was quite a bit bigger than every other balisong, but it still flipped and still does flip very well and is still very competitive against other aluminum balisong trainers. This is a very nice balisong. Almost almost as nice as the BB Firefly version 2. And all Sergey really did was he took the criticisms that the community had of the version 1 and changed them and modified them on the version 2. It's still one of the craziest things I've ever seen a maker do. When Sergey released the original version of the Firefly V2, it didn't have jimping, and everyone was like, damn, this is really cool, but it would really be something else if you put jimping on this thing. And within like 5 hours of people telling him that, he designed, tested, milled, he took the community's concern and then implemented the changes onto his new product. It was a crazy thing to watch in real time, but then just the end result of this balisong and just seeing the improvement on this balisong is really, really cool. Like the version 1 Firefly already flipped really good, but just the changes they made to it really turned the version 2 into a really, really good flipper. And I think around the time that these came out, they were probably the best aluminum balisong trainer that was out. So those are the BB Firefly version 1 and version 2. Moving on to another balisong that does not come from the United States of America. This balisong actually comes from Nizhny Novgorod, Russia, to be specific. This is my custom-made Atropos Cali's Mercy kukri bladed balisong trainer. I didn't get my hands on this thing for quite a while, but once I got my hands on it, I was very satisfied and very happy with how it came out. It's a very tall, skinny balisong, and it's also kind of heavy. And another weird thing is these handles are almost cylinders, and you would think that would mess up a lot of stuff, but it actually feels really good for stuff like choker fans and stuff like scissors. I thought it would mess up, but it actually didn't really at all. So I actually was very pleasantly surprised with how well this balisong turned out, and it's still one of my favorites. All right, this next section may hurt a couple of 40, 50-year-old fifis again. These are the 3 like modern day balisong clones that I have, and we're gonna start off with none other than the very infamous Chab clone. I got a hold of this balisong to review and demo it, and it actually does flip quite well. It may very well still be the best flipping balisong clone that's out there. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about the Chab clone that I haven't already said in multiple other videos that it's featured in. I just wanted to show you guys that I do indeed still have it, and it does flip very, very well, just like it always has. Moving on to my personal favorite clone, which is the Orca clone. I really enjoy this thing, mainly because the JK Orca is kind of my grail balisong, even though I really don't think I'm ever gonna pay what people want to charge for a real Orca. I still wanna try a real JK Orca, but I don't know if I'm ever going to actually buy one, mainly because after reviewing all of these balisongs that range anywhere from $27 all the way up to $1,200, the law of diminishing return really is a thing, and I'm pretty sure no matter how much I love the design of the JK Orca, I don't think it's going to be worth the $1,100 that is like the bare minimum that you would pay for a JK Orca. Also, JK is a little bit of a butthole. I have personally seen him openly bully and poor shame kids on the internet just because they said something he didn't like, and I'm not really going to pay that price to support a guy who treats people like that. And let's also not forget how dirty he did Will Hirsch over his Monarch. But we're talking about the Orca clone, and I think for what it is, it's a pretty dang good flipper. The only real downside I have to the Orca clone is just that it's kind of heavy. But once you get used to it, this thing does actually flip really, really nice. But yeah, this thing has a pinsless design too, and I am surprised to say that the handle gap on the Orca clone looks like it's lasted longer than the handle gap on like actual JK Monarchs, which I think is kind of funny. Moving on from the Orca clone, we have the final clone, the one that I do feel a little ashamed of owning, the Machine-Wise Seraph clone. I watched DJ Alice Pyro's video on this, and I really wanted to get my hands on it. It was around the time where the Seraph was really big. It was like the #1 balisong. And then also, the clone of the Seraph has a different blade. The blade on the clone is a little bit more of a kukri blade, and I'm kind of a sucker for kukri blades. I didn't buy it brand new. I got it used. I can't remember if I traded it or bought it, but yeah, I got my hands on it now, and it's okay. It's a good flipper, but I don't know. This is kind of just the one clone I feel slimy about owning, because Machine-Wise seems like a really, really cool and chill guy, and I'd rather support him. There's actually quite a few people that have offered to send me their Machine-Wise balisong and loan it to me so that I can actually make reviews of them, and I may actually do that this year. But for now, that's the Machine-Wise clone. Moving on, we have some balisongs that I actually received quite recently. These are the balisongs that Defcon Tactical sent over to me to make reviews on. This first one is called the S-Tech Hex. It has this really cool like honeycomb hexagonal design on the faces of the handles. So while it does feel really good and grippy on the faces of the handles, the rest of the balisong is actually quite slippery. And my hands are particularly sensitive to slippery ass aluminum balisongs, so I really, really don't like them. Besides that, this balisong actually does flip quite well although it doesn't flip as well as its brother. This one is called the S-Tech Apex. I was actually surprised that this one flips a little bit better because this one has even more of a minimalist design to it, and it has a lot more just blank, bare anodized aluminum, which is always really slippery. Where this thing recovers in grip is the actual shape of the handles. They're quite squared off and really edgy. Edgy. The actual handle design kind of saves this Balisong's grip ability. And this one also comes with jimping, which I wish that the Hex did. But those were the two aluminum Balisongs that Defcon sent me, and they also sent me this very interesting titanium balisong. But it's not just any ordinary titanium balisong. You see there's a little lever here, and you can actually remove the blade from the actual tang of the balisong, and you can turn it into a handles only balisong, or its actual purpose is to just have interchangeable blades. There's ones that are like a fork, there's ones that are like multi-tools, there's one that's just a basic trainer. I have the live blade one in here right now, and I'm not going to remove all the other blades from its pouch. Depending on which blade insert you have, this thing actually does flip quite well. Like the live blade insert actually does flip pretty dang nice. It's very fun and very interesting and very unique. It's a very innovative design. So yeah, that's the Defcon titanium handled interchangeable blade balisong. Moving on, we're gonna have quite a few aluminum balisongs to look at now, which I'm not very excited for because I don't like aluminum. But starting off with this one is actually stainless steel and G10, I believe. This is the $27 Nabalis G10 parallelogram. This was the first balisong by Nabalis that I reviewed back when Nabalis first started blowing up on the scene, and for the price it actually flips kind of really crazy good once you do some work on it. You have to take off the latch and do a couple other things to this balisong, but once you do all that stuff, it turns into a really good balisong for the price, and it's kind of crazy. You got to do some work to it, and you got to Loctite the shit out of it to make sure these cheap screws don't go anywhere, but once you do that, it's a little surprising how well this thing actually flips. So shortly after I reviewed the Nabalis G10, Nabalis actually hit me up and offered to send me this balisong to review it, which is the Nabalis Morse. And this balisong really kickstarted the $65, $70 Amazon aluminum balisong trainer craze that we've seen this past year. And while this balisong is lacking in the grip department, like there's no jimping, the handles are kind of slippery, it still does flip quite well, and I think it is a pretty dang good balisong for the money still. So yeah, that's the Nabalis Morse, and then we have the Nabalis Volp, which is the balisong that Nabalis made in collaboration with Will Hirsch, another balisong YouTuber. Okay, well, it started raining really loud, so cool. I guess Mother Nature just wants me to go fuck myself. But Nabalis and Will Hirsch were kind enough to send both me and a bunch of other balisong YouTubers a Volp to review and check out. And I actually really like this balisong. I think for the little amount of design that the handles actually have, it's rather minimalist. But for that minimalistic design, it still does have quite a bit of grip as compared to a bunch of other aluminum balisong trainers, which we are going to check out here in a second. Compared to those guys, this thing still does have quite a bit of grip, and I actually quite like flipping this balisong. That's the Nabalis Volp. Wow, that rain's really fucking loud. That's so goddamn cool. But anyway, we have one more Nabalis balisong to check out, and it is actually one that they had just sent me. This is a brand new Nabalis balisong called the Trident. This one is a little bit more expensive than their $65, $70 balisongs, but for the short time I've spent with this balisong, I do think it is well worth the money. After I make this video, I'm going to get started on making the full review and demo for this balisong, so be on the lookout. My initial impressions for the Nabalis Trident is it is a lot cheaper and a lot better than the Squid Nautilus. So yeah, stay tuned for the review on the Nabalis Trident. I quite like this thing. Moving on, we have the Onal Olive Flippers Addicts. This is another balisong that was sent to me by a different Amazon balisong brand. This one also sits in that $65 range. And I gotta say, I really like the way this balisong looks, but I also really don't like how it flips. These handles are just way too slippery. There's zero grip on them, and the handles are rounded. I have a real hard time actually keeping this thing in my hands. So that's kind of the one unfortunate fatal flaw about this balisong, is that it is quite slippery, but I mean, it does look nice, so that's something. So that is the Onal Addicts. It looks really cool, but it kind of flips like butt cheeks. Moving on, we have the Marcolo Comet, another balisong that was sent to me by Thomas. He also sent me the Onal Addicts. I believe he works for Marcolo and Onal, and those, I think those brands are connected. Shout out to Thomas, he's an awesome guy. But yeah, this is the Marcolo Comet, and it's not as slippery as the Onal Addicts, but it is still, as you can see there, it is still quite a bit slippery. There's a little bit more grip on the surfaces of the handle, handles, but on the sides of the handles, it's still really, really slippery. The jimping doesn't really do a whole lot, and these handles are also rounded, so that really doesn't help with the slipperiness of this balisong. So it does look very, very nice, but unfortunately it doesn't really flip that well. However, they do have a new like G10 and aluminum version of this balisong that I think will be a lot grippier. Maybe we'll get to check that balisong out in the future. But for now, that is the Marcolo Comet. Moving on, we have the Mishgumiho Blaze balisong, which is another balisong that was sent to me by Thomas. This balisong is pretty interesting. These handles are nowhere near as slippery as the Addicts or the Comet. I mean, they're still a little slippery because they're aluminum, but they're a lot more squared off handles, so it really does help a lot with grip. So while this balisong does have a lot better grip than the other two, the balance on this one is a little silly. This one is pretty aggressively blade bias, and it really causes this thing to flip a little awkwardly. So it unfortunately doesn't really flip as well as I wish it would. I think with some tweaks and improvements, this thing's balance could be a lot better. Moving on, we have another balisong from our fellow YouTubist, Balisong Flipping. This was his big Bahunga 7075 aluminum balisong project known as the Polaris. He tried to design this balisong to have as much grip as humanly possible for an aluminum balisong, and I gotta say, compared to all the others, the grip on this thing is actually quite good. This is a channel handled balisong, but there's a big divot going through the sides of the handle, so it almost feels like a sandwich construction balisong, which does help with grip. The jimping is very aggressive and deep. The handle design on the faces of the handles and all the milling is also very deep and does provide a really good amount of grip. Plus, I just love the color of this blue anode that this thing comes with. So yeah, this thing is an awesome flipper. Unfortunately, I broke one of the pivot screws, so I had to replace it. But other than that, this thing is awesome. This is one of the very few aluminum balisongs that I actually really enjoy. So big shout out to Balisong Flipping for making the Polaris. This is an awesome aluminum balisong. We are in the home stretch, fellers. These final 5 balisongs are basically the ones that I flip all the time. These are my main flippers. These are my grails. And let's start off with none other than what many people are calling the current best balisong that you can buy right now, the LDY Cygnus. LDY was incredibly kind enough to send me one of these to review, and I've already made an unboxing and first impressions video of this balisong, but I am going to be making a full review and demo of this balisong here in the future. I just wanted to flip it for a good long while and get a real good solid opinion on this thing as to whether I think this is really the best balisong out there right now. It is very, very impressive, and it is a very, very good flipper, both with the live and the trainer blade. This thing comes with all kinds of spare parts. It comes with 2 different blades, both a live and a trainer blade. It comes in a really, really nice carrying case. This thing is really a next level balisong in terms of quality and flippability. It does flip really, really well. I am a very big fan of this balisong. I think especially now with how they've increased the price of BRS replicants, that just kind of made the LDY Cygnus even more worth it, because now it's like the BRS replicant and the LDY Cygnus are almost the same price. And I think if they're almost the same price, the LDY Cygnus should be a no-brainer. And I feel very, very blessed and lucky and grateful to be able to get my hands on one and make a full review for you guys here soon. So that is the LDY Cygnus. Yeah, I can't stop flipping it. It's really, really nice. Let's move on to my very first real balisong, which is a Blade Runner Systems version 1 replicant. This thing is about 8 years old now, I believe, and this was my #1 main balisong. It was the only thing I flipped from about late 2014 till 2019, I think. This was really the only balisong that I flipped, because I had this and then I had these, and we all know how well these balisongs flip, and this balisong flips insanely well. This is still one of, if not the best flipping balisong that I own. I don't know if it's because I'm so used to it, or if V1 reps really just are that much better than most modern day replicants. This thing is a treat. I really do love this balisong. I don't think I'm ever going to sell this one. This one's probably going to stay with me for the rest of my life, unless something crazy happens. It was basically my beater for all that time, so it's seen some shit, but it's held up fantastically well. And yeah, that's my version 1 rep. I really like this thing almost as much as I like this replicant. Oops, okay. All right, guys, so unfortunately, my GoPro is a hot pile of dog shit and keeps like either spazzing out and freezing, or the battery just dies way faster than it should. So this is probably going to be the last GoPro video I make for the foreseeable future, because that thing is just pissing me off, rustling my jimmies to no end. So unfortunately, the rest of this video is just gonna be my ugly mug flipping these things. But luckily, we only have 3 more balisongs to look at, and this next one is quite possibly my favorite one out of all of them, even more than my original V1 rep. You see, last year I ended up getting my hands on another replicant, which is this one, but this one was fully custom, fully aftermarket rep, and I got that custom replicant so that I could mod it even further and turn it into basically what is the balisong of my dreams, and I have done that since then. When I first got it, it had this really crappy OSP blade on it, and I swapped it out for this hourglass kukri blade, and then a couple months back, I got these Foxfire Factory channel spacers with some really nice jimping on there, and ever since then, this balisong has become just so freaking nice. I love the way this thing turned out. I love the way it flips. I love the way it sounds. I love the way it feels. It came with hammer G10 scales in white, which I really, really like. And then the titanium liners that this thing had. I don't know if they're stock or if they're from a clone or if they're aftermarket or what they are, but they have a very nice rainbow anodized fade on them. Since it is a kukri blade, it does flip a little bit different than most balisongs, but once you get the hang of how this thing flips, it is really nice. It's really fast. There aren't any tricks that this thing kind of like is weird about or wonky about. It flips really, really nice. I love this balisong so much. I'm really glad I took on this endeavor and turned this balisong into something that I really enjoy, because not only was it fulfilling to actually just do that and mod it over time and turn it into something that I really like, but now I have a balisong that's basically the balisong of my dreams, and I'm quite stoked on it still to this day. So that is my custom replicant. Moving on, we have the penultimate balisong we're going to be looking at today, the Fellowship Blades Medusa, the Medusi. This is a Medusa V2. I love everything about this balisong. The high quality titanium handles feel really good, and then of course this ridiculous blade that this thing comes with is just a work of art. Oh, this thing's nice. I really do like it. Now, the one thing about these Medusa handles, some people really don't like how rectangular the handles feel. I can understand why some people wouldn't really like it. It doesn't really bother me when I'm flipping, but I definitely do feel it. However, I hear that the Medusa V3 is going to correct that. For those of you that love the way the Medusa looks but really didn't like how the handles were shaped, I think the V3 handles are going to be a little bit more squared than they are rectangular, which is something I am quite excited to possibly check out one day. But for now, I am quite enjoying my Medusa V2. I really, really like this balisong. Almost as much as I like my latest purchase, which is the last balisong we're going to be looking at today. This is the Fellowship Blades Empress, the Empressusi. This is the successor to the Empress Medusa, which is basically a Medusa like we just looked at, but instead of having this crazy Tonto blade, it came with this equally crazy looking kukri blade. And he sold them just on the Medusa handles for a while, but then he ended up making its own set of sandwich titanium handles, which I think are my favorite handles in balisong flipping, period. I really, really like the way these handles feel, especially compared to the Medusa handles. They're definitely not as rectangular. They're a little bit more squared off. And since they're sandwich construction, they have a bit more grip to them. And then the jimping on this balisong especially is very aggressive and very nice, especially compared to the Medusa handles. So that is a great improvement. And then on top of all that, this blade is freaking awesome. I am a sucker for kukri blades, and this S35VN kukri blade really is a work of art. And then unlike most kukri blades, this actually does flip pretty normally. Most kukri blades flip a little wonky because they're bent, so it kind of throws off the balance of the balisong, especially when it's in the air. But Grant over at Fellowship Blades was able to design a kukri blade that really didn't do that. And I really was blown away with how well this balisong flips. Like, since it was a kukri blade, I was kind of expecting it to flip a little funny and a little funky, but that's not what I ended up getting. I ended up getting a balisong that actually flips really, really well, and that I am very, very happy with how it flips. If I had a top three, it would be the Empress, my custom rep, and my V1 rep. I really, really love the way this balisong flips, and it's kind of the main balisong that I've been grabbing recently. And I think with that, that's going to conclude the collection video. So I saved the best for last. These last 5 are definitely my favorite flippers, although I am very, very, very appreciative and thankful for all the balisongs that I've received on this balisong YouTube journey that I've gone on in these last couple of years. I definitely feel very lucky that I get to work with so many awesome brands. Even if I may not necessarily be the biggest fan of their products, I am still glad I get the opportunity to try them out and make reviews for you guys. Real quick, I just want to give a huge thank you to the current channel members, Modern Balisong, Cosmic Steez, Yana Kaminsky, and Horse Running. The support that I get from these guys really does mean a lot, and if you want to join them, get a shout out in my longer videos, get access to the occasional members only exclusive videos, and just help out the channel in a bigger way, you can go down there, click that join button, and become a channel member today. Tiers start as low as $3. But if that's too much of a commitment, you don't want all those perks, but you still want to monetarily support the channel as like a one-time thing, there's also that super thanks button down there. It's kind of like a little tip jar. But I think that is going to conclude my 2023 Balisong collection video. And I've been wanting to make this video for a while because I want to get rid of most of these. I have a lot of Balisongs, but I really only regularly flip these 5. And I'm kind of running out of room, so I need to thin the herd a little bit. So what's going to happen here pretty shortly after I upload this video is I'm going to announce that I'm going to be selling a lot of these. So if you are maybe interested in getting your hands on part of my collection, then you can go follow me on Instagram at DenDenBMX. And over there on Instagram is where and how I will announce how I'm going to be selling these Balisongs. I'm not going to be selling them for retail. I'm going to be selling them for a heavy discount, and I'm probably going to be selling them in like groups. Like for example, I'll probably sell these 3 Balisongs together, sell all my clones together if I decide to sell those. I'll sell all the Defcon stuff together, and again, it'll be like a heavy discount because I got these for free and I'm not really trying to like exploit that. I'm just trying to thin the herd a little bit. That is going to happen in the near future, so if you are interested in maybe getting your hands on a piece of my collection, you can go follow me on Instagram at DenDenBMX, and I will announce how and where I'm selling these in the near future. But I'm done blabbing for now. Thank you guys so much for watching, especially if you made it this far. I really hope you enjoyed. Once again, if you did, let me know and help the engagement on this video by leaving a like, leave a comment, give me your thoughts and opinions, share the video around, make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already. We're on the road to 17,000 subs. I am done being a tool. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.